Welcome to Italy. Pasta, pizza and gelato and some horsepower. This is a 3-stop joyride through Florence, Bologna and Modena, or as I now call them, culture, comfort and cars. We stayed in Bologna not just because it's affordable and super easy to travel from, but because Bologna is the food capital of Italy and I love food. And then there is Florence. It's bold, it's beautiful, it's basically history showing off. This is where Michelangelo sculpted David, where the Duomo doesn't just dominate the skyline, it owns it, and where the Ponte Vecchio still sparkles like a medieval jewelry ad. And finally, Modena, a city where everything slows down, except the cars. It's a place that whispers, "Take it easy," but also shouts, "Ferrari was born here, so buckle up." It's the place where engines are sculpted with the same obsession Michelangelo had for marble. Starting with Florence, because when in Italy, you begin with the classics. Here are the top places to see in Florence, paired with some delicious spots to refuel along the way, because sightseeing on an empty stomach is a rookie move.
Okay guys, and we are in Florence now. We have arrived, and this in front of us is
the Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore. You cannot come to Florence and not be stunned by this masterpiece. Construction started in 1296 and wrapped up in 1436, a casual 140 years later. The real showstopper is the dome. Engineered by Filippo Brunelleschi, it's the largest brick dome ever built, clocking in at 45.5 meters wide and over 114 meters high. What's crazy is that it was constructed without scaffolding, a technique that still baffles modern engineers. And of course, don't miss the Giotto's bell tower. Climb the 414 steps for a spectacular view over Florence. Pro tip, the dome and the tower require separate tickets, so be careful when you're choosing your pass. The Brunelleschi pass includes all the monuments and costs 30 euros, the Giotto's is 20 and Ghiberti is 10 euros. And please don't do what we did. Book your tickets in advance. The queue is no joke, and unfortunately, we didn't manage to get in. If you're feeling hungry after all of those steps, I have 2 recommendations for you. For the planners, head to Trattoria Za Za. This place is a legendary, but so is the wait. We skipped the 1.5 hour queue, but if you make it inside, please report back. For the rest of us, walk over to Il Mercato Centrale. It's a food hall dream. Fresh pasta, local cheeses, produce, pizza and more. Zero planning required, 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Speaking of markets, don't miss Fontana de Porcellino, a market and fountain that's famous for its bronze boar. Legend has it that if you rub the boar's nose and drop a coin in the fountain, you will be sure to return to Florence. At this point, if you're feeling hot or simply want a gelato, because who doesn't, stop at La Strega Nocciola. This place blends traditional methods with inventive flavors, and every scoop is made from natural ingredients. Great for cooling down and powering up. From there, walk over to the Fountain of Neptune and Palazzo Vecchio, one of Florence's most famous landmarks. The Palazzo Vecchio, which means old, was built in 1299 and is a fortress of Renaissance politics. Think of it as the OG city hall, and actually it is still the city hall to this day. Out front stands a replica of Michelangelo's David, marking the original spot where the real statue stood before being moved indoors to the Accademia. Right nearby is the Fountain of Neptune, which was built in 1575 to celebrate Florence's maritime ambitions, even though Florence isn't anywhere near the sea. Time for an afternoon bite? Grab a legendary sandwich from All'Antico Vinaio, a favorite with locals and tourists alike. Pick one up and picnic by the river or in a quiet square. Simple, fast and delicious. Want something a bit fancier? Try Caffè Gilly, one of the oldest cafes in Florence, founded in 1733. Here, order an espresso and a tiramisu and pretend you are starring in a 1950s Italian film. Next stop, Ponte Vecchio, the iconic bridge over the Arno. Built in the 14th century, it's famous for its small walkway lined with shops. These days, it's mostly jewelers, but back in the day, it was full of butchers, so it probably smelled very different. An interesting fact: Ponte Vecchio is the only bridge in Florence that survived World War II intact. So stroll across, soak up the views, and maybe snag a shiny souvenir. Once across, it's time to dine again, and I have two places to share with you. First one, Restaurant for Leoni, a cozy, romantic spot tucked near Piazza della Pasera. And the second one is Guastaosteria, a hidden gem near Basilica di Santo Spirito. Ideal if you want a more local, off-the-beaten-path experience. And finally, I would recommend ending your day at Piazzale Michelangelo. For those who love a good view, like myself, this is the place. A short walk or drive from the city center rewards you with a stunning panoramic shot of Florence. As an added value, there's also a bronze replica of David up here, keeping watch over the skyline. Bonus tip, on the way down, stop at Formaggioteca Terroir, a cozy cheese and wine heaven. Small but mighty. It's the perfect place to toast your day with friends. A glass of wine and a board of ridiculously good cheese, that's all you need. Even though we kicked off the video in Florence, technically Bologna was our first real Italian touchdown.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are in Bologna, as you can tell. It's beautiful.
We stayed here throughout the entire duration of the trip and traveled around from here. Think of Bologna as our Italian HQ, the reliable base camp between all the pasta-fueled adventures. Bologna is not as showy as Florence, but that's exactly the charm. This is where Bolognese sauce comes from, and where mortadella reigns supreme. It's also a student town, home to the oldest university in the Western world, founded in 1088. Now, let's dive in and show you why Bologna deserves a spot on your Italian itinerary. We are starting strong with my favorite spot in Bologna, Piazza Santo Stefano.
Ladies and gentlemen, right now we are living the Italian life. Slow living, enjoying a glass of wine and what is this, Aperol Spritz in Bologna. And yeah, look at it, it's beautiful, just nice. This is one of those memories that I like to save, so that whenever I want to relax, revisit it, it's there on my hard drive.
Whenever we do the fast living, we go to the hard drive too.
Yeah.
And the square itself, a historic gem, often called Sette Chiese, the seven churches. Now onto the big one, Piazza Maggiore, the place you have to see, grand, open and full of character. This is where Bologna shows off. This has been the city's main gathering place since the 13th century, and it is where you will find Basilica di San Petronio, one of the largest churches in the world, dedicated to Bologna's patron saint, and inside it holds the world's longest sundial at 67 meters. Fun fact, the basilica is half marble, half brick, because the Vatican stepped in to halt construction to prevent it from outshining St. Peter's in Rome. That's what I call church drama. And yes, the Fountain of Neptune makes another appearance here as well, ready for your Instagram story. While in the square, I would recommend two things. Climb the clock tower for some amazing panoramic views of Bologna, or grab an Aperol Spritz or coffee and enjoy some people watching. The rest of our Bologna time? Simple. Walk, eat, walk more, eat again, repeat until euphoric and full. Here is what we highly recommend. The first one, Ahimè, not your typical trattoria. This Michelin guide spot is all about sustainability, simplicity and freshness. Think veggie-forward dishes like fennel with coconut and green pepper sauce, and some of the best homemade bread I have ever had. From fine dining to budget brilliance, we are going ahead with Sfogliarino. This gem delivered one of our best value meals of the whole trip. For just 15 euros per person, we shared a pizza big enough for two, got a cocktail each, and hit an all-you-can-eat Italian buffet that was delicious. If you're with a group of people or just a food-curious human, check out Mercato di Mezzo. It's Bologna's version of the time-out market with an ancient twist. Dating back to medieval times, this market was once a hub for spice traders, and now it's a foodie's dream. When the pasta sweats hit and you need to reset, Forno Brisa is your rebel sanctuary, a bold, independent bakery with a serious coffee game. And lastly, Gelateria Gianni. Let me say it clearly. This is the best gelato I have ever had. And finally, if you are still with me, bravo! You've earned a little treat, a story of engines, elegance, and pure Italian horsepower.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the Enzo Ferrari Museum here in Modena.
And let me tell you, it blew me away. Whether you are a die-hard car fanatic or someone who thinks horsepower belongs in a stable, this place is absolutely worth a visit. Set in a strikingly modern building that contrasts beautifully with Enzo Ferrari's birthplace next door, this museum showcases the evolution of Ferrari design. You can get up close with iconic engines, browse original sketches, and soak up some serious automotive history. Then we hopped over to the legendary Ferrari Museum in Maranello. This one focuses more on Ferrari's Formula One legacy and their insane innovation in racing and engineering. Just a heads up, shuttles to Maranello aren't super frequent, so plan ahead. If you are tight on time, book a round-trip transfer when buying your tickets. Speaking of tickets start at 22 euros per museum or 38 euros for both. However, the price depends on the time of the year you're visiting the museums and what other experience you add. As for the food, I've got 3 words for you. Bottega, Mama, Puya. This is the real deal. No frills, no gimmicks. We loved it so much, we went for lunch and then came back for dinner the same day. And before we wrap things up, one last tip. Don't forget to stop by some of the Italian supermarkets like Coop and Palm to stock up on Italian cheese, cold cuts, spreads, wine, and my personal favorite, pistachio cream. Grazie mille, and remember, life's a trip, tax lax.